Touchdown, back on road. Counting money, man, you know how it goes. Hit the VIP and tell my bitch to strike a pose. Hop in mode. Hop in mode.
Yo. I got my boy Khalif EL-Amin, a.k.a. Leaf, a.k.a. Big Leaf. I got him saying it's Big Leaf. But man, I got a 5-time state champ, 2 as a player, 3 as a coach. I got the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point alumni, and I got the co-founder of YES. Yes. And this is my boy, Khalif EL-Amin. Thank you for coming to the Barcode Podcast.
Man, it's an honor. It's an honor, man. I appreciate you having me.
Oh, man, come on, man. You know, we go way back. and I got to do this, Leaf, just because I know when we touch on high school that, you know, we're going to have the King stories. You know, you went to King, I went to Vincent. But before, and I'm doing it ahead of time, just let me know if you remember this, though.
I figured that was gonna come up too.
Y'all don't know. Y'all see Leaf head in the middle between me and Pre. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I brought this up is, like I said, you know, everybody know that, you know, my class, 04, 05, we was runner-ups. You know what I'm saying? But this is my brother, and we had battles.
Absolutely.
You know, at King, you know. So I had to show you that, man, because I know you're going to try to, you know, talk about your gold balls and your rings and stuff. So I just really wanted, you know, I blocked pre-shot.
Yeah,
in that picture.
It might have been a foul, but we was at the V, so you know.
Paid under the table, man. No, no, man. So I want to start off by saying, you was a small guard in the city conference. It was a tough conference, especially around the time when you were playing. And choosing King, a household, you know, name, you know, high school, you know, a lot of great players came out of King. What made you choose King High School?
Man, it goes back to really AAU. You know, we started playing, you know, pretty much our core group started playing together at like 11 and under. So like me, Dupree, Fletcher, Matt Goodwin, Rob Dixon, you know, all of us, we started playing with Pal Swish back at 11. So we had developed that, you know, that connection, that rapport, you know, all the way through. And then actually, a lot of people don't know, but I actually was supposed to go to Dominican because my older brother, he was 3 grades ahead of me. So like he was playing, he wasn't getting a lot of time, but he was a decent player. You know, they were strapped over there. They had Showtime and all them, but you know, he was a decent player. But I had took the enrollment test and everything at Dominican. So I was supposed to go. And it was an AAU, we were at an AAU tournament. And you know, I had a really good game, and Coach Gaz just so happened to be there. And he was like, yo, who was this? And he was sitting next to Goody Pops. And next to Goody Pops was my pops. So he like, actually, this is dad right here. Yeah. So, you know, one thing led to another. I went, you know, took the placement test at King, you know, got in and whatnot. And, you know, as they say, the rest is history.
And it was history. And it was history.
We made a little bit of history.
Yeah. So playing in that AAU game, and you said you played good and whatnot, do you think that like Dupree and Goody and all, did they have a little bit of influence, or it was just like, you know what, he seen me play good, he talked to my dad, I'm going to King?
Oh no, they had a huge influence because obviously, you know, Dupree, he was highly touted, you know, from when we were, you know, younger, and then Goody as well. And then we had some, you know, we had some other cats on our team, but mainly like the guys that were going, that knew that they were going to King, you know, Dupree, Dixon, and Goody, like they were, you know, I was the point guard for them. So I'm facilitating, doing what I gotta do. And, you know, just being a smaller guard, just knowing the cerebral part of the game, you know, like not letting anybody outwork me, outthink me, you know, just making the right plays and, you know, just doing whatever I needed to do in order to get the win for the team.
Yeah, dog. That's, man, because around that time, we had a lot of good small guards. And now, if I could remember, I only remember like you, Little Billy, Bob. Yeah, them the only small good guards that I know. You know, I'm sorry. No, I hope nobody attacked me for saying that. I'm sorry. Okay. So whatever. So going into your freshman year at King High School, do you play freshman? I mean, JV out gate?
No, not out gate. No, I played freshman, and then I got moved up to JV too because we were so stacked. I mean, like Goody and Pre, they played varsity. Dixon played JV right off top. But my freshman year, that was like Aaron Williams, you know, Dub. That was his senior year. Mike Causey, his senior year. So like we had, you know, it was, and then Jahi was a grade ahead of me. So it was just a ton of talent there. So I didn't mind it, you know, knowing that I'm coming in the king, I'm under 5 feet. So like, but I could, you know, I wouldn't finna, you know, let nobody push over me. Like we were still gonna go at it. It wasn't gonna be sweet.
Mm.
But yeah, man, I mean, just be able to learn from those older cats. You know, definitely gotta, you know, give my props to you know, Jahi Craig. Like he took me under his wing from when I came on my visit to King. Like, you know, just from then on, like to this day, you know, he still called me little bro. And I can call him big bro. Like it's all nothing but love. Like I still remember he taught me like how to pass. And it sound weird, but like he was like, pass it to me. So I'm passing it to him, and he like, no, pass it to me. So I'm passing. He like, you don't know how to pass. Like, what you mean? Like, I'm a point guard too. I know how to pass. You know, I'm sorry. That's the kind of relationship we had. He like, no, when you passing it to your shooters, you want to make sure you pass it so that the seams is already on there, so that they don't got to move the ball. So like that just stuck with me, and like, you know, just something as simple as that, you know, in high school it may not make a huge difference, but as you keep playing, and you know, it's kind of like what DG was saying, you know, the levels, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the different levels, like that makes a hell of a difference, you know, rather than, you know, if you get a player in that 0.2 seconds, they don't got to try to adjust the ball, they can just catch and shoot. Like it's money. So, you know, just I didn't mind playing freshman in JV because I was still playing. I wasn't on varsity riding the bench just to say I was on varsity as a freshman. I was still playing, you know, even when I was on freshman, we was scrimmaging JV, you know, practicing and scrimmaging with JV like every day at practice. So like it was all good, man. Like I paid my dues, I waited my time, and you know, it all worked out in the end.
Yeah, most definitely do. And it's crazy with the passing thing dude, because a lot of people tell me that I'm a good passer. And I want to bring up the Tosa League just for, you know, a small, you know, bit. And, you know, I play with a lot of great shooters, you know, Ryan Kreger, of course, yourself, Chris Fehrenbach, you know what I'm saying, and Miles McCack. That was my main focus, to make sure that you guys caught that ball where y'all ain't had to adjust it, that split, you know, second where somebody can close out. So for him to teach you something so little like that, right? But people don't know how important that is when you go to
Yep.
the level. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Dude, listen. So you played freshman, you grinded out. You know, you stayed focused. You were competitive, and going into your sophomore year, I want to say yes, I was a freshman. So you was still on JV, right? I mean, you was on JV
Yep.
your sophomore year.
I was on JV. So my sophomore year, I was practicing full time with varsity, but then I would play JV, and depending on who we was playing, I might do like 2-2 because that's when it was still quarters. So I might do like 2-2 or 3-1, depending on who we were playing. But yeah, I was practicing full time with varsity as a sophomore.
Okay, and then while you was practicing with varsity, do you feel like they prepared you for JV that season?
Yeah, it was. I mean, going up against Dupree and Jahi, and you know, even like Brian Terrell, like those guys, like, I mean, I'm going up again. I'm matching up against them, and you know, Coach Guys is similar to Coach Diener as far as like defense. You know, like we stress that like major in practice. So whether that's zigzags, you know, 1-on-1s, 3-on-3 cutthroats, like I'm practicing against these guys. Like JV was kind of sweet when I did have to play JV. You know what I mean? It really wasn't, you know, it wasn't too much, you know, too much comp, but you know, I still respected the game and, you know, went hard. But shit, I was trying to kill whoever was in front of me. Like, like in my head, I'm like, man, I just spent the last 3 practices going up against Jahi Craig, like, or Dupree, like, or Goody, or whoever the case, whoever it was, like I'm like we playing. I don't want to name no names, but we playing.
Pulaski, you know,
like it's on. It's on. I'm gonna get my 2 quarters in, do what I got to do, and run back. You know, and suit up for varsity. Like
yeah,
it was kind of sweet. I kind of had the best of both worlds. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because like certain games, I knew I only had 2 quarters, so like they'll, you know, in other words, they'll be like, do what you got to do for this half, and then you know we gon' you know you're gonna be in the locker room with you know varsity changing.
yeah, exactly. So you go through that, you go through them 2 things your freshman and sophomore year, which I think were great learning experience, 2 great learning years for you, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, so leading up to you playing varsity, did you get inserted in the starting lineup, or were you coming off the bench?
My junior year.
Yeah, because that was the year y'all
Yeah.
won, right?
Yep.
Your
Yep.
junior.
So my junior year, I didn't start until my senior year.
Okay.
So my junior year, we were loaded. Like we were, I mean, we had 15 on the roster, like no exaggeration. 12, maybe 13 of those players would have started anywhere else. Anywhere else, like not just in the conference, like anywhere else in the state. Like we were that deep, we were that loaded. We had the leadership, we had the experience from, you know, making the sectional finals the year before, or sectional semifinals before losing the Tulsa East. So we knew, you know, we knew what to expect. But my junior year was special to me because Coach Guys asked the players who they thought should be the captains, and the players voted myself, Jahi, and Justin Willingham as the 3 captains. So like that was like, it was kind of reassuring, you know what I mean? Because it wasn't the coaches like saying, okay, Khalif, you're gonna be the captain. Like it was my peers, you know. So like they saw at 5'2", 120 pounds, what I brought to the table, like, you know, from a basketball standpoint and from a leadership standpoint. So like that was very special. So like, you know, I still got a lot of time. When I got in, I made my mark, but you know, just for my brothers, you know, to think so highly of me, and then it just made me want to, you know, elevate, you know, how I went about, you know, the game.
Yeah, dude. And first of all, them are 3 wonderful captains, you know, and still talk to you to this day. I still talk to Jahi. And a lot of people may not know this, but Justin Willingham, that's like my blood cousin, you know, well, not
Oh,
like,
word.
is my blood cousin. Yes.
Yeah,
And the
nice. I
reason,
didn't know that.
yeah, so your junior year was my sophomore year.
Yep.
I remember when y'all kicked our ass at King. It was a party. You know, that's the year y'all had Mike Gutter. Y'all had the
Yep.
pigeon toe guy with the nappy.
Jamil,
He was pigeon toe.
Jamil. Yeah, he's pigeon toe, but he'll jump out the gym though.
Jump out the gym. You got my cousin. You got
Yep.
you got the you got y'all had a great team. So for y'all
Yep.
to make it to state that year and bring the gold ball home, listen, I wasn't shocked at all. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
explain your role, you know, especially being such a undersized big I said undersized big man, undersized guard, playing with all these guys that you said can start any team in the state. What's your mindset? What's your role when you get in the game? Are you just spot up shooter, just facilitating, working the offense?
Yeah, so the primary role was to, facilitate the offense, but I knew at my size, I'd had to do something else really, really good. So like probably the summer leading into my freshman year of high school, I just was like wherever I could shoot, I was getting shots up, driveway, park, alley, the wide, wherever. I was just shooting, like getting them up. And I became a very, very good 3-point shooter. So with the talent that we had in the offense that we ran, like we were spread out. We was driving, getting there, boom, drive, kick, boom, and like they had to respect me because, or if they didn't close out, I'm knocking it down.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would say my role it was to facilitate the offense, but be able to knock down the open tray ball too.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Yep.
If nobody know Khalif, he's a sniper. Okay, don't just think my guy is a coach and just an entrepreneur. Okay, he'll light your ass up. But whatever. So leading to state. So you make it upstate. Do you remember who y'all had to go up against leading to the gold ball, your first gold ball at King?
Yeah, I want to say we because this was back when state was 3 games. So remember it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So Thursday we either played Wausau East Thursday and Kimberly Friday. No, I'm sorry, I'm mixing up years. I think we played Fond du Lac, and it was a low scoring game too, like 30 something to 40 something. It was low. But I think we played Fond du Lac and Madison La Follette with Mike Flowers.
Mike Flowers, yeah.
Yeah. And he caught one of my teammates who shall remain nameless. But he tried. Hey, we was taught to take charges. He tried to take a charge. But but yeah, no, yeah, it was fun. Yeah, my junior year it was Fond du Lac and La Follette because La Follette had won it the year before.
Got you.
Yeah. So but yeah, I mean, and then we played Appleton West in a championship, Brian Butch. So that was like the, not I won't say headline, but that was like one of the talks of it, because you had me at 5'2", the smallest player in the tournament, and him at 7 foot, the tallest. So yeah, that was one of the things. But yeah, I remember the Appleton West game when I got in, like you said, the role, right? Like coming off the bench, you gotta add that firepower, you gotta add that spark. So it was a grind, like back and forth game, back and forth. And I remember I couldn't really feel coach guys out that game. Like usually I kind of be able to know like when I'm gonna get in, like if he rocking with me or not, like, but I couldn't really get his vibe. So I'm just like, all right, like I'm just gonna lock in. I'm gonna be ready whenever he calls me. And it was towards the end of it was in the second quarter, and he puts me in. He's like, Khalif, get in there. And like he had this thing, like he always grab you, like grab it, throw it, down there, throw you to the scores table. So I get in, right when I get in, I get a steal, boom, layup, and then next time down, I remember Jamil, he kicked it to me, and like I'm deep, like logo step, boom, and like I just heard like just a roar from the cheering section, from the student section, and like that kind of, we went on like I think like a 9-0 run or something like that, 8-2 run like that. When I got in, then that kind of just propelled us, and we ended up winning by like 15, I think.
Yeah, and it's funny that you shared that story, because I was actually going to say, how was your experience? Like, was you nervous, or because I've been upstate before, and I'm already an energetic guy, so I was geeked. But most people, they scared to play, or they not scared, but they be nervous to play. The bright lights, we playing on a longer court, you got the fans and everything, but it seemed like you came off the bench and you was already excited and geeked.
Man, we was prepared. I mean, that's one thing, I won't say one thing, but that's like a main thing that Coach Guys is very, very, very good at is preparation. Like we had the right mindset, physically we were in shape. We trusted each other, we had a good chemistry, like the camaraderie was there. And yeah, like we knew. So like I just took all that and just internalized it and was like, all right, like whenever I get in, I'm good. Like, because I already put the work in. Like, it is what it is at this point. We upstate. It's a championship game. Like, ain't no more practices. Ain't no more games. You know what I mean? Like, what we gonna waste it on? Like leave it all here. So yeah. I was just very fortunate to play a part. In that championship game, and I never forget. So after that game, so I won, I came in, I kind of gave a spark. And then like the Monday or Tuesday after state, like I had like this big ass article on the Journal sitting on like the sports, and it said Mr. Big Shot. And I come to school and like I don't know it yet, right? This is pre JS Online and all that, you know what I mean? Like
So bad.
the actual paper. So I walk into school and one of the teachers like said it like, "Hey, Mr. Big Shot." I'm still not knowing like what he talking about. So then the announcements come on, after or before second hour. And then, he's still talking about it and like Khalif, Mr. Big Shot El-Amin. So then so then lunch come around and I'm sitting by Pre like, man, I scored 18 points. I ain't getting no write-up. He's like, you came in, you scored 5 points. He's like, you scored 5 points in 2 minutes and you get a write-up. Like, like that's just, that's just how it was. We was always laughing and joking and but he knew I knew it was all love, but I think a little bit of that Pre was like, damn, where my article at?
And he got to understand too, you was the shortest guy in the tournament.
Yeah.
So with you being the shortest guy in the tournament, you're going to bring all the attention, especially coming off the bench, setting that spark and winning the gold ball. Yeah. Oh yeah, man, let's write this up. You know what I'm saying? Let's write this big article for the shortest guy. Yeah. So going into your senior year, I want to know, how was you and Coach Guy's relationship?
Man, it was great. It was great. I mean, he pretty much, that was, Jahi had graduated, so he pretty much gave me the keys and was like, you're the point, you're gonna be a starting point guard, like run the show, run the show. And we lost so much, from that junior or from my junior year. A lot of people had wrote, they wrote us off, and we still, went out to Niagara Falls. We played Paul Harris. He ended up going to Syracuse, played his team. We beat them out there. Went down to why am I drawing a blank? Where LeBron, St. Vincent St. Mary, played them down there at Akron, beat them. So we still had some juice, obviously, until we ran into y'all. But but no, I mean, like Coach Guys, he was a great motivator, great coach. He knew how to get a certain level, like a certain level of effort out of you. And like it's like when you thought you were tired or you thought you did something, he made it to where you always wanted more. Like you was never really satisfied. You know what I mean? It's like he would do some sick stuff sometimes psychologically, but it all paid off. Like looking back on it, like on and off the court, it made me the man who I am today.
Yeah, for sure. And to piggyback on what you said, I can't believe they kind of like wrote you guys off. Like you didn't have Khalif El-Amin, Matt Goodwin, Dixon, Dupree Fletcher. Y'all had some young guns on that team too.
Yeah,
like
we had Troy Cotton, Lanil, Louis, Eric O'Neal. I'm trying to think who the freshman class was that year. 07.
Well, I remember.
Oh, we had Lance Kendricks. Lance was on that team.
He sure was, bro.
Yep.
That's crazy. But yeah,
Yep.
for them to write y'all off, man, like that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, you know how it is when you up top, you know what I'm saying? Especially, inner city kids, going to Rufus King, going upstate, Cole Center. We older now, Lee.
Yeah.
A while, but whatever. So you get inserted into the starting lineup. Now that Dupree, Matt Goody, Dixon, all y'all guys been together, man, since the AAU days.
Yep.
Do y'all come together like, man, this is our senior year, bro? Let's try to win it again. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was I believe it or not, we was talking about that like a couple days after we had won in our junior year. You know what I mean? Because like, you know how it is. Like, if you keep playing, the longer you playing, like, right after state, you pretty much right in the AAU. Right? Some AAU programs have already been practicing for 2 or 3 weeks. Because guys are losing earlier. But like, once we won state our junior year and got the AAU practice, we talking trash to the other cats on our team. Like, yeah, we coming back our senior year too. Like, we trying to go back to back. And that was our goal, early on, and we had our sights set. And not to keep bringing it up, but even after y'all beat us my senior year, I never forget. Y'all did us bogus too. I ain't gonna say where our locker room was at, but I remember our makeshift locker room.
Vincent proves. Okay, go ahead, Leaf. I'm listening. This is the Khalif show. Go ahead, I'm listening.
So like the makeshift locker room y'all put us in after the game, we all hot, we pissed, like we lost, and I never, like, to this day, it's still like I can still hear him, like Rob Dixon. He's super smooth, slow talking. He like, man, I don't even know why y'all tripping. We still gonna win state. I'll never forget that to this day. To this day, and Rob's so smooth with it too. Like everybody was mad. Like he was mad, but like everybody like was just like, where you so mad you can't even talk. So it's just like super quiet and like just tense and thick. And Dixon was like, man, I don't even know why y'all tripping. We still gonna win state. And sure enough.
Sure enough. Sure enough, man. And I remember going into that game. And the reason why I remember going into that game is because the year before we getting our ass kicked. So, that summer, we doing our thing. Yep. We trying to come back strong too. We seen y'all, win state. You know what I'm saying? We was young, you know what I'm saying? So I just remember going into that game and I just remember telling myself, because you got to be realistic, and a lot of players not realistic. Yeah. But I was leader and captain on the team at Vincent too. So I told them, this is like a statement game for us. Yeah, we've been beating these rinky-dink teams, but if we beat King, at the time I thought, dude, this is the spark we need. And fast forwarding, we go upstate. We've been beating Wes Matthews in every summer league, AAU, summer, all that stuff. So we kind of overshadowed them and was like, dude, we beat King this year. And they on the other side, man, the championship about to be cracking, and fall short. You know what I'm saying? So I brought up that story to say, even though you guys lost and was angry and pissed, look how y'all bounced back from that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all bounced back, y'all got back focused, stayed together, and won another gold ball. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. So going into the state championship, and Wes Matthews, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Michael Nelson get Mr. Basketball that year?
Yeah. So that was another thing too. So right before, Coach Guys did his pregame speech, and we all, we locked in, like we good. And it had just been, I think it had just been announced like earlier that day. But we didn't, this was pre-social media and all that stuff. So we didn't really know it. Like, I think only the coaches knew it right then. And Coach Guys did his thing, said his speech, and then he's like, "Oh yeah," he was like, "Effing Mike Nelson got the Mr. Basketball." And I've been playing with Pre for a long time, and I had never seen like that. Like when because everybody thought Pre was getting it. You know what I mean? It was like at the time we were 22-3 because we had lost to y'all, and then we lost 2 games down in Myrtle Beach. So we was 22-3 at the time, and everybody just knew like we about to damn near repeat, like potential to repeat, like, and like Pre just had that look, and then we came out getting popped. Like we was hyped, and I think we were like playing off of emotion and not necessarily like skill and strategy. So like we got down 16-1. Like, so everybody, that's Madison Memorial. So pretty much 80% of the crowd going crazy for them. Nelson, he just, he Mr. Basketball. Wes Matthews, I think he had already committed to Marquette at the time. So it's like they think they got it cracking. And then it just, that thing, some just switched. And they for a couple of possessions, they just couldn't get the ball past half court.
Yeah, I know. I remember the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all from the city.
Yeah.
Y'all my boys. So of course, we tuned in.
Absolutely.
We just got our ass kicked, but I'm still tuning in. And I remember y'all being down, and I'm just like, Madison Memorial is good? I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't think so. And then they gave this dude, Mr. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. But then you guys, bro, it's like y'all, like you said, snapped out of it. And like when y'all won, Leaf, and I'm honest,
Mm-hmm.
when I say this, I was so proud of y'all winning that back to back, and y'all stayed together. And it was a little bit of beat these motherfuckers that kicked
Right.
y'all ass. Let's bring it back to the city. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
So, but I just remember when y'all won that, I was so proud of y'all for real. You know what I'm saying? Because of course at the time I didn't know y'all was getting like written off or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But we all know, because we played in the city conference, how it is to be up top. Because when you up top, they try to bring you down.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So for y'all to stay on the same page and bring the goal ball, and you got it back to back, man. Listen, I don't even know how we still cool, man. You got back to back, bro.
Yeah, I mean it. Like looking back on it, man, it's truly a blessing, man. Just to, I don't know the percentage of people that can say they won their last high school game, match, whatever sport it is, and for me to be able to say that, like it's truly a blessing. For me to do it with my brothers, like people who literally I grew up with from 11 to 17, 18 years old. For us to do it on that stage, like it's truly special. So it's something that we might walk past each other. Even Coach God still do this to this day. Like we'll walk past and just do it. And like he always said, like, you guys have a chance to do something special. Like you guys have a chance to be I remember he always used this term, household names. He was like, you guys can be household names, but it's it's up to you. And we took that, we didn't take that lightly at all. So and to this day, it's like some people, oh, El-Amin, oh, you're El-Amin from King,
Yeah, y'all household names.
Right,
All of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So y'all go on, y'all win the back to back your senior year. Congratulations, if I never
I appreciate
that. And now you're approaching, graduating, high school. and you know this, that you're an undersized point guard. What's going through your head as far as recruitment? Like, are you getting recruited how you expected, or just like, like what schools were offering you? What opportunities did you have? Leading to your graduation, your senior year.
Yeah, it was, I mean, obviously, or not obviously, but it was slow, because I was undersized, like severely undersized. Like when I graduated high school, I was 5'2", 123 pounds. So like I didn't have any Division I offers, like coming out. Like I didn't have any Division I offers. So, but I had preferred walk-on spots. So I could have walked on at Green Bay. I could have walked on at Parkside. Whitewater was recruiting me heavy. And Stevens Point actually got on the trail like late. Like, so I wanted to go to Green Bay just because, at the time, it's like D1, D1, D1. And like I had, gained a good relationship with the coach and one of the, players that was up there at the time. But one of the assistant coaches, like he just didn't rock with me like that. Like when I went up for my visit, like he walked past me in the office, like didn't say nothing. And then when the other coaches and the head coach came out, then he was, oh, hey, Khalif, blah, blah, blah. Like I ain't like that. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way about Green Bay. Parkside, I I I I like the coach, but the campus, I didn't like the campus. It literally was like I felt like it was like in the middle of a forest. Uh, but and then Whitewater was I was leaning heavily towards going to Whitewater. Coach Miller, he recruited me hard, me, Dixon, and Drew Jackson. Like he was recruiting us very tough. Um, but it was too many people from Milwaukee, especially from King, that was going there. And then when Stevens Point kind of came on the trail, I just went up there, took a visit. I like that it was far enough from Milwaukee, but close enough that if something happened, I could still get back, in less than 3 hours or so.
Mm-hmm.
So I went up there, and they had a winning tradition too. That was something that I liked. They had just won the national championship in 2004 as well. So, just being up there, interacting with the guys, and I fell in love with the campus, and it worked out. So I ended up going, like, officially saying I was going to Stevens Point probably to like mid-May, like damn near June. Like it was pretty late up
Mm,
after my senior, or yeah.
yeah. And so going out there, because we from the inner city, going into your freshman year at the University of Wisconsin, Stevens Point, was it a culture shock for you on the
Huge,
on the school side? Yeah.
huge, yeah, huge culture shock. I mean, like King was probably like 70% black, 75% black, and then everything else kind of mixed in. But like Stevens Point, like the school itself, I think when I got up there, I think I had asked one of the admissions counselors. I think it was like 4% black, or like I know, I'm sorry, 4% people of color. So like that's all encompassing. But yeah, it was a huge culture shock. But because I mean, I was really, when I was back in Milwaukee, outside of hoop, like I ain't really hang out with, like people that weren't black, you know.
Yeah.
So when I got up there, I was forced to. And then I'm like, oh, these like my teammate listen to the same music I listen to. Like you know what I mean? Like we playing the same, he playing the same video games I play. You know what I mean? Like they like the same girls I like. So
Yeah.
it was just like one of them things where it's like we all here to hoop at the next level, get our grades, get our degrees, and be successful. So once I was able to like overcome that initial kind of culture shock and be like, all right, like we all here for the same reasons, then it was all love, man. I mean, now like them, like my teammates, like those my brother, like my college teammate, like those my dudes. Like, you know, we take trips together and hang out. Like I stood up in weddings, like it's nothing but love. So for me, I feel like Stevens Point like help culture me a lot more. So like just life period, you know, just learning how to mix and mingle and interact with people of all different demographics.
Yeah, man, and I like that, you know, you talking about this, you know, because not just where we from, but a lot of African Americans, they get scared, they turn down, you know, a lot of different schools that's recruiting them. They go on these visits, and of course, we know they out their comfort zone, but you sharing this story, you know, telling us your journey, this can make another kid or kids, you know, comfortable, you know, stepping out their comfort zone. You know, even though you step out your comfort zone, look what you're talking about now, Lee. You
Yep.
still you standing up in weddings, you know, y'all taking trips. I even remember meeting you in Minnesota, I believe. And
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
introduced me to one of your Stevens Point guys, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And he was cool, you know what I'm
Cool.
saying?
Exactly.
So yeah, man, I appreciate you you know, just sharing that, because you know, a lot of people, a lot of kids can hurt their chances, you know, going to college because you know, the race card thing or whatever,
Yeah.
or you know, the color, you know, whatever. But back to basketball,
Yeah.
going into your freshman year at Stevens Point, did you start out gay? Because I know, and I asked that because you said the year before they just won a national championship. So
Mhm.
after them winning that, did they lose a lot of players and you came in right away, or you had to compete for time?
No, so that was the thing. So the recruiting class, they had only lost like I think they had lost like 3 players, but like the recruiting class was like 7 or 8. Like we was like deep, and like we all could play. So I had to make the choice of, do I want to be on a team, and pretty much like I was pretty much told like this a different ball game now. You like, do you want to, you on a team, like, we recruited you here, you on a team, but ain't no guarantee for no minutes. So I made the choice to actually, what in Division 3 is called gray shirt. So gray shirt, like, is, I mean, it sounds good, but the shit sucked. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like it was bad. Like, it's so in Division 3, after the first like competition or whatever, like, if you saying you gray shirt, like, you can't do nothing with the team.
Like no travel, no nothing.
Like, no, like, you can't even practice and no travel. Like, like in D1, you can still practice and not play or travel, but you red shirt. Like Division 3, like, you basically not, like, they say you gray shirt, but like I felt like I wasn't even on the team, to be honest. Cause like you can't do nothing. You can't even go to a team meal. You can't do nothing. Like, it was tough. Like, that was the year where I really kind of, I won't say the year, but times in that year, during that year, where I'm like I had a good run. I like, is this something, is this really what I want? And you know, like, I'm real close to my dad, and like, he just, he tell, like, push through, like, just keep pushing through, like, you ain't make it this far to not follow through with your dreams. One of your dreams, play collegiate basketball, like, you ain't get this close to giving up. And so then I just, like, dedicated myself to the weight room, dedicated myself to the gym, played in little leagues, like intramurals, like,
Yeah.
open gyms, whatever the case may be, man. I was just like, I was locked in. Then like, I grew 6 inches my freshman year. So like, I'm 5'8" now, like, and when I grew that, I grew 6 inches, and then I put on 15 pounds of muscle. So now I'm 5'8", 140. I could do something. I'm
Do
I'm all
something.
right now. Now I already had the skill in the cerebral part of the game. But now I'm like, all right, like I'm not that much shorter than everybody, so, and I'm a little, got a little muscle on me too. So like I'm good. So going into my freshman, like after that gray shirt year, like I was ready to rock and roll then.
Woo, hold on. You grew 6 inches?
I grew 6 inches my freshman year of college, bro.
Wow, Leaf, that's cold, bro. Like, but shout out to your father. A lot of us, we don't have, we come up single mother homes.
Man,
So for you to have your father in your life and to have that conversation, because as a player and the things that you went through in high school, you know what I'm saying? Especially after winning back-to-back titles, playing in these games, facilitating, being a captain, and then going to Division III in a gray shirt, you can't eat, you can't travel. Bro, that'll break somebody down, bro.
yeah.
That'll make somebody want to give up. So for your father to step in, look what happened. You hit the weight room. You got to do in the gym, hitting, shooting shots, doing what you do. So first of all, before I go into your sophomore year, so gray shirt. So even though you gray shirt, the following year when you played, did you still have 4 years remaining?
4 years. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that was technically your freshman year in basketball.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So your first year playing basketball, what was the minutes like? What was practice like? Like, what's going on now after the gray shirt?
Yeah, so then that year we did lose a lot. So we had, National Player of the Year. We lost him. This guy, Nick Bennett, he was the coach's son, Jack Bennett's son. Like he, just a 3-point specialist. So we lost like probably 70 to 80% of the scoring from the year prior. So I'm like, and then it was another shout out to Tamar's Relaford. He was the black point guard before I was the black point guard. So he took me under his wing, and like, during those times, like, he'd bring me over by the crib and talk, but he still, was grooming me even after he had graduated too. So I'm thinking like, oh, I'm about to fight for this spot. Like I'm thinking I'm good. Coach had a different plan. So so coach wanted one of our shooters to be point guard. He was trying to groom him to be a 6'4" point guard. So that first year it was tough. Like I started maybe 4 or 5 games. I ended up winning 6 man of the year for just internally, like for the team, like at the end of the year banquet. But it was an adjustment. It was an adjustment. Like the practices weren't harder. Coach Guys, he prepared us well for the college game, but it was like the length of the practices, like that's what got me. It was just like, especially during winter break, like winter break was, I'm like, bro, it's like we started practice at 1:00, and sometimes we between practice and film, we're damn near not even catch the cafeteria, and the cafeteria was closing at 6. Bro, we started practice at 1:00, and we damn near not, we literally, like, after practice, like taking off our stuff, hopping in the shower real quick, hitting to the calf, like trying to catch it. But it was just one of them things, man. Like I mean, like at King, like we watched film like towards the end of the season, but it wasn't no real film sessions like that. But yeah, it was an adjustment, man. But I think we went like 15-10 that my freshman year. But yeah, when sophomore year came, we was ready.
Okay, but no.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't believe in no fucking 4 hour practices, man.
5.
It's fair. No, listen, it's just uncalled for, fam. Like you,
Yeah. Bro, I don't think my legs have hurt and I took care of my body like during the season, before, like off season. But bro, you can't prepare for that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't prepare for that.
Oh man, I'm sorry, Leaf. I held my laugh in as long as possible, man. I just think that's crazy. Coaches do that, dog. So I remember you telling me that y'all had a good sophomore season, right? Your sophomore,
We had a great sophomore season.
great sophomore season. So going into that season, what's going through your head? Are you inserted in the starting lineup this time, or you still?
Not yet. So like it's still me and shout out to my guy Sean Lee. We were still kind of going neck and neck. It was still kind of like who gonna get that starting, PG spot. So we're battling, and how our coach, he was real strategic at like building like a bond and a brotherhood. So like Stevens Point would run like camps from basically like mid-June to mid-July. And he would have all the players work the camps, because all the stuff that he was teaching the campers was the same stuff that he was teaching, us. So whether that was footwork and fundamentals, offensive concepts, defensive concepts. So we were always like in the gym, always had a ball in our hand, always around each other, so we were it was in between sessions, and we were playing a pickup game. And like that day, it was in the summer, that day like the gym was super moist and humid. And Sean Lee went up for a reverse layup, and when he came down, he ended up tearing his ACL. And his like that, like it sucked, like to this day, like he never could really bounce back from that injury. And then like once that happened, it was kind of a like a shoe-in for me, like to get the starting job. That year we like coach literally gave me the keys that year, and he was like you do point guard, run the show. And I was top 5 in assist to turnover ratio, like throughout all the divisions. So it was like me, Drew Neitzel that went to Michigan State, the lefty point guard, couple other cats. But yeah, I ended up having I was like a 4.4 to 1 assist to turnover ratio.
Now,
Yeah.
if when people watch this episode, I hope they paying attention. And the reason why I say I hope they paying attention is because Coach God gave you the keys, and look what you did. And now you get the keys again at Stevens Point, and you take your opportunity and run with it. And you was top 5 in the nation. Come on, man. Shout
Yeah.
out to my boy Khalif EL-Amin, man. For real, dude. For real, like that's amazing, man. And I want these kids to really hear, these stories, especially, the Division III stories, man, because they just think D1, D1, D1. And I'm not gonna penalize them because that's how we thought, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But now that we older and mentors, it's like, dude, you can get great opportunities and have a good life being, going Division I, II, or III.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
So yeah, so you said that was a wonderful season. Did y'all get a chance to make it to the nationals?
Yeah, so we were like when I say we had a great season, we were number 1 in the country for like 6 or 7 weeks. Yeah, we was rolling, man. We was playing some good ball, uh much more up tempo style than Stevens Point was used to. Um and yeah, so then we end up making it to the NCAA tournament. And like we had home court advantage, like all it would have been all the way until the Final Four. And like we balling, like we killing people by 20, 30, like running it up, kind of like at King. Like we running and gunning, like we playing, like throwing lobs, like killing. So then we come up against Wash U Washington University out of St. Louis. And the game that we had for the scout, we only had one game. And the team that they play, I forget who they play, but the team played zone the whole game. So we ain't really get a good look. Like, we knew who their personnel, but we ain't really get a good look at to like what they did. Man, this was a Sweet 16. Like, when I tell you they popped us on our home floor. So like they beat us the game to go to the Elite Eight, or the game to go to the Elite Eight on our home floor. Yeah, like they got us. They got they had a solid guard, lefty guard, and he actually was high school teammates with John Shire from Duke. And then they had a big fella. I forget the big fella name, but the big fella was cold. Like, he was cold. Like that was the only thing we lacked that year. We ain't had no big. Like, our big was like 6'5", like 6'4", 6'5". And like in college, that ain't cutting.
What year was that?
2006, 2007. Yeah, 2006, 2007.
Oh, dog, I was playing still, cuz, you know. I ain't going, but you know, okay. But y'all didn't have no big man. You call me, but
yeah, man. Yeah. I know you was loving Minnesota a little bit too much at that time.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Minnesota. So when y'all play them, you don't think, like, the coach didn't think to like go zone, or did y'all try zone too?
And we never play zone. Never play zone. Like, never. Like, and this is gonna shock a lot of people. We didn't have no plays.
Listen, I know why y'all ain't got plays. Y'all play the right way. It just, it's just the motion, but you passing, you cutting, you screening away, you slipping.
Yeah, that's it. We ain't like, if you ever saw me dribble the ball, like bringing the ball up and throwing something up, I'm waving to somebody at the crowd. And so I told somebody in the stands I was gonna give them a fist pound or something. Like, man, we ain't had no, I wouldn't call it nothing. Like, we ain't had nothing. Like, I mean, we had, don't get me wrong, we had like we practiced our offensive concepts. Like, we knew the different cuts and reads and screens and whatnot. But like, as far as sets,
is no go.
No.
So hold on. So y'all had no sets, right? Hold on, Lee, because I pay attention. I'm very interested in this story. Your story.
Yeah.
So y'all had no sets, right? Correct.
Well, I mean, we had like 3, but we never ran them.
Okay, but even 3.
Yeah.
And y'all had a 5-hour practice, dog. Come on, the coach crazy, dog. What are y'all? But no. So y'all fall short.
Yeah.
Y'all losing your home floor. You had a real great opportunity to make it to the national championship that year. So the year that you won first team all conference.
Yeah.
That was senior year, right?
Senior year.
Senior year. Okay, so you win first team all conference. I want to know what your stat line was looking like your senior year, because to be realistic, a lot of us, we go to college. In my mind, I'm like, overseas is what it is. Even though I didn't play overseas, but at the time that was my mindset. But as an adult, as a grown man, being realistic with your life, your senior year, what's going through your mind? Like, I just want to graduate and go, or?
No, I mean, just being a ball player, as one of your dreams, you want to play professionally. As I got older, I'm like, all right, like, the NBA professionally, that's not gonna happen. Let's be realistic. But I did think that there was a shot at me, playing overseas. So like, going to my senior year, like, I'm like, shit, I gotta run my numbers up, because like, when I started talking to people, they like, dang, like, they overseas, like, they ain't looking for no, person who can, who averaging 6, 7 assists and maybe 8 points, like, or 6 points. Like, you gotta, like, get your points up. It just is what it is. So but I never, even though I was a capable scorer, I never really was that shoot first guard, or like look for myself. So just the makeup of our team my senior year, one of our key players, like my boy Brian Beamish, he had got hurt, like he had messed his wrist up real bad. And outside of him and one of our other players, Matt Moses, like we ain't really had no scorers, because our other shooter, Pete, like he was always injured. So I knew I had to assume that role of getting more shots up. So my senior year, I ended up averaging like 11 point something. It was right under 12 points per game, like 5 or 6 assists, like right under 2 steals a game. Yeah, I averaged I think I shot 47%, no, 48% from the field and 47% from three.
Dog, you shot 47% from the three.
Yeah, I was yeah, it was damn near automatic. It was one out of two. One out of two, Q bar. One out of two was going in. Or 2 out of 4, however you want to look at it.
That's great. And you telling, well, that's a good accolade or award to have. And you said you got first team all conference, right? You didn't, that's the only thing you got. You didn't get nothing shooting 47% from the field.
No, I mean, no. I mean, I think years prior I should have got all conference too, but it wasn't about me, those years. And I didn't make it about me, because like our team was so good. Like we was basically competing for votes, you know what I mean? So it was like I had, like, you think I could shoot, like this dude on my team, Pete Rorbett, man, I'm talking about like logo Leonard, Steph Curry, like whoever you want to compare him to. Like I could literally dribble, like if he trail and he gonna let me know, trail right. And I can 2 steps past half court, pitch it back to him, and he letting it go. And that's just how we play. Like that's how our coach let us rock. But yeah, I mean, I didn't like them dudes was like that. It was my job to get them the ball. You know what I mean? But senior year, like I said, injuries and people graduating and whatnot. I was like, all right, now I got to, step in and fill that role. But, another thing that was good to see, like the postseason awards, within our team, like at the team banquet, I was voted by my brothers as team MVP. So that was dope. And I got sportsmanship award too, but that was like,
Yeah, hold on. Don't sugarcoat that.
no, for the conference.
That's cold.
Yeah.
That's cold, man. Come on
Yeah.
now. Now, just imagine a player like me getting shit. Come on, dog. I'm framing that bad boy. Right there, right there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so senior year, I know it was a dog fight. Because like you said, you graduated King 04.
Yeah.
A lot of them guys went to Whitewater, stayed in that area, in that conference. Who were some of the dog fights and some of the tough guards that you had to go up against, or teams in that conference?
Man, like all throughout, like the WIAC conference was tough. Like, I mean, we had Whitewater, Superior, Eau Claire, Platteville, Stout. We had all them, like River Falls. We had a lot of tough games. Like obviously Whitewater, I always played well against Whitewater, especially at Whitewater, because it was the closest to the crib, and they recruited me too, and like the coach was still there. So I'm like, all right, like I'm gonna show you what you don't have. But no, it was dope, like, because Goody, so Goody had went to Williston after King. Goody went to Williston, then Pacific, then transferred to Whitewater. So so he was there my junior and senior year, and then Miles had transferred in. So, you know, you had other Division I cats that transferred in. Then even throughout the time I was there, Geo, Geo was at Whitewater. So, we had our rivals. Yeah, I never forget, even when I went up on my visit to Whitewater, Geo, how Geo talked. Geo said, "Hey, this D3 shit ain't sweet. It ain't sweet. It ain't sweet. It ain't sweet." And at the time, I'm still like, yeah, all right, like it's D3. Like it is, it probably is sweet. But I quickly found out that gray shirt year is not sweet. It wasn't sweet. But yeah, I mean, it like any given night, you could get popped off like by a team. Whether that was the bottom, last place team, or the first place team, like you had to bring it. So the WAC was tough, man. It was tough. Like we had all type of like recruits, and then we had a lot of transfers too. So like what I tell people is like the difference is like wasn't no difference in skill net per se, but the difference between like Division III and Division I is the athleticism. So like you might have a guard, a 6'3", 6'4" guard, make a hell of a move, get to the cup, then they just, D3, they might just roll it. You know what I mean? But like, obviously we know how that go in D1. They going upstairs.
Yeah.
But you did have some cats in D3 that were athletic. DJ Marsh, UW Oshkosh. He I felt bad. I felt bad for my teammates when we had to play Oshkosh. But DJ used to drop a 30 ball. Yeah, we had some battles though. We had some battles like because they had a little smaller guard who could shoot too on Oshkosh. So, but yeah, man, it was competitive for sure.
Yeah.
Night in, night out.
Listen. Shout out to my bro DJ Marsh, dog. I used to love guarding him, and he is tough, dude. I feel like
Yeah.
if he don't break his foot twice,
Oh,
I think
D1,
go D1 for sure.
D1, easy,
Go
easy,
D1, easy,
easy.
easy.
Yep.
And he my guy because he mixed breed. You know what I'm saying? That's but whatever. I ain't gonna do that. But no, if I'm mistaken, like we talked about the Whitewater team having 8 players. Did you have to play against like Brandon Brown?
Yeah, lacrosse, Fehrenbach,
Yeah,
Fehrenbach,
yeah, Fehrenbach. What was the Black River Falls? Courtney
Jonte.
Davis.
Yep, Courtney. Yep, Courtney. Yeah, Courtney. Yeah, Courtney was about 25 when we played him, but
Oh,
yeah,
I
he,
thought he was
he
28, but go ahead.
I don't know. He maybe
No.
had a couple great exceptions or something. I don't know. But no, yeah, Courtney was up there at River Falls. I think he was just I think he was my like sophomore or junior year. But yeah, Courtney Davis, they had a good guard up there too. Jonte Kunkau. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
some
Mhm.
competition.
Yeah, I mean, I just bring up, all them names just because, like I said, man, we got to shine light on Division III basketball.
No, for sure.
A lot of people downplay it.
Yep,
I was gonna take the Division III route, but I didn't want to be in Wisconsin. You know what I'm saying?
that's fair.
So yeah, I felt like I definitely would have enjoyed playing in, that conference, had I decided to do that, So, but man, you get first team all conference, you graduate college. What do you get into when you get out of college since you said overseas, didn't fall through for you?
Yeah, so I graduated with a sociology major, psychology minor, um, thinking that I was gonna, take over my dad's social service agency. So I'm like, all right, like, it is 2009, so economy ain't the greatest. A lot of people who I'm graduating with, they struggling, scrambling, trying to figure out who they gonna work for, or if they even gonna have a job. Period. So like I'm blessed to already know, like I'm coming out, like I'm making, close to 40, as a college graduate, 22-year-old. So I'm working with pops. And then I worked with Pops for about 3 years, and like he wouldn't like my dad's not the type where he just like, all right, like, oh yeah, you my son, come on, I'm gonna bring you up, like you good. Like he literally like started me at the bottom. Like I got a college degree. He started me as a maintenance worker. Then I was like a daycare van driver. Then I was working in treatment foster care. Then I was like still doing some administrative work. Sometimes it had me answering the phones, running errands. So yeah, I was doing a number of different things, in that capacity. But then like about 2012, 2011, 2012, my brother Q and I, we were like, man, we gotta make something shake because he was just coming back from Dallas. I was, kind of spinning my wheels, with Pops, and I'm like I don't see myself doing this for forever, so something got to shake. So Q and I, we started a Young Enterprising Society, or YES, mainly as a social outlet for young professionals. Started out, selling merchandise. It's got on one of the OG shirts right now.
Sure.
Started out, selling shirts and crew necks and throwing parties, really. Uh, just as an escape, just to get away from whatever it was that people were going through, and just have, whatever that 2 hour period, 3 hour period, just come kick it, have a good time, network, socialize, or whatever. But then we wanted to be a little bit more like strategic and productive in what we were doing. We like, all right, we can get hundreds of people to come, turn up, have a good time. We can get maybe not that many people, but a similar number to do something more constructive. So what we did was we had some friends who were barbers, so we would give away free haircuts for kids. And then that's when we would go in those like middle schools and like elementary schools. We noticed that like a lot of the information and like technology and stuff was all outdated. It was like no, so yeah, so then we started doing some programming in the school. So we do a STEAM programming: science, technology, engineering, art, and math. We started doing that back in like early 2013. Since that time, we taught over 4,000 students in 8 different states through that program. And then we like back in 2018, we were like, okay, like we're working with middle school and high schoolers. Like, how can we affect, adults as well? So we started what's called the Blueprint. The Blueprint is an accelerator for underrepresented founders with tech startups. So they're able to, go through our 12-week cohorts, and at the completion of it, they can get up to $20,000 in seed funding to help build and grow their respective startups.
That is amazing, bro. And you guys been doing this for a long time and it's still going. It's 2022 and y'all
Yeah,
still, shout out to Q, your big brother.
shout out Q for sure.
Yeah, he's a wonderful man for real. And I want to ask you this, Steve. How much since you graduated college, how much has an influence your brother been on you?
Man, not I can't even say since college, like
Yeah.
since birth. You know what I mean? Like he 2 years older than me, so like that's been my dude through whatever was going on in life. Us going through, our parents' divorce, you know, sports, school, girls, kids, work, business, I man, I can't like I damn near get emotional when I like just thinking about all the stuff that he's helped me with, and like unconditionally too, like, you know what I mean, like, but he's not the type that's just gonna coddle me or anything. Like, it was tough love, like some of them car rides after some games, or or after I do something, or don't bring home the best report card or whatnot. Like he was on me, like in my head, even to this day, certain things that I do, like, yeah, I got 2 kids now, and I'm like, all right, how would this affect my kids? But like certain things, obviously from a business standpoint, it's like, damn, what would Q do? Like, how would he feel? You know, and like
Yeah.
I hold him to that, like literally, like to the highest standard because um I could never begin to repay, you know, what he's done to me. I mean, just like dude is just he's
Dude.
a genius, bro. Like
Dude, a
he's a
genius.
like I've never obviously I've been around him more than pretty much anybody else in my life, but like just for him to be so smart in so many different things, like whether that's real estate, whether that's entrepreneurship, whether that's art, whether that's computers, whether like a lot of the stuff that we teaching, like I'm just the implementer. Like I ain't coming up with that. Like that's Q. That's coming out of Q head. Like yeah, I can make it sound good. I can pitch it to somebody. You know, I can go talk to an instructor or administrator and act, you know, talk, see if they want to, you know, purchase our programming or whatever. But it's like Q is like, man, he's amazing, bro. Like he's amazing. Like I don't want to ramble on and on and on, but
Yeah,
I'll just leave
yeah,
it at that.
yeah.
I'll just leave it at that, man. It might like Q, I love you, bro. I know you're gonna watch this at some point. Like I love you, bro.
Yeah, for real, bro. And you know, I got 6 sisters, so and I love all 6 of my sisters, but man, just having that big brother dude, man, I know that would have been a different feeling, man. And like I said before, man, your bro is like he's just so cool and laid back, and I've been knew that he was a mastermind.
Yeah,
And what really, really, had me thinking like, okay, what they own, because I do want to talk about, are you guys still doing that one project? Remember you had me and a couple
yep,
the players, coming to, clean up, doing community service work. So I want
yeah.
to know like what is that progression looking like?
Yeah. So the project that you're referring to is called the Community Within the Corridor. So Q, you know, Q's a real estate developer. So this project, it was a 66, I think it's about $68 million project now, with the cost overruns and whatnot. But yeah, $68 million project, right on 32nd and 33rd and Center, across the street from Master Lock. So the total project is 197 affordable housing units from studio to 4 bedrooms. It's 35,000 square feet of commercial space. So we'll be moving our Yes office over there. It'll have a creative corridor, which will have like podcast studios, like a small screening, like a small theater for like movie screening and whatnot. It'll be a daycare, small grocer, a laundromat, you know, literally everything you need right there. And then in addition to that, you know, the space that we were cleaning up is 25,000 square feet of rec space or athletic space. So it'll be 2 full court basketball courts. It'll be some turf area for like cross training. We'll have some weights. We'll have a small weight room. It'll be locker room, male and female locker rooms. And yeah, and then it'd be like a indoor kind of play area, jungle gym for smaller children. So it's available for obviously the residents. Like their membership is already you know, included within their rent. So they got access to that. But then like community members as well, like you know, they're interested, anybody interested in getting a membership, you know, once it's fully completed, then you know, we'll offer that as well.
Man, listen. To see some black men, bro, brothers. I don't know who else on the crew. I don't want to
Yeah.
miss anybody, but for you and your brother, man, to just to have a huge project like that. I believe, we not old yet. Y'all still young to me. So for young black men, bro, to just like take on a project like that, dude, that's amazing, bro. Like who wouldn't want to live in that? You got the basketball court for the kids to go to. You got the play center for the kids. You got the laundry mat, and whatever else.
Yep.
And I'm gonna have this in the description, and I'm gonna make sure I, help you promote it, help you guys promote this thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm really excited. I was excited, picking up the trash when I was there, even though I was sore and tired. But I still enjoy, because like I said, I've been knowing you for a long time, Leaf, and it gave me a chance to actually converse with Q around that time, and just talking to him was just like, yeah, this dude is smart and he cool. And for both of you guys to be humble, dude, like blessings, bro. And
appreciate that.
yeah, for sure.
Got to shout out the rest of the team though.
Yeah.
Ray Nitty, Tia Cannon, and Michael Wesley.
Okay, yeah, my bad, y'all. I didn't know.
No, they good. They good.
Yeah, some of y'all people, some of y'all my dogs, so I know y'all. Shout out to all y'all, for real. Y'all doing great things. Do you know when the project could be 100% complete?
Yeah, so with as far as like with the facility and everything, we're looking at like March of next year. But some of the units are already being moved into. So 67 out of the 197 are complete. So those are being actually, like, as we speak, are being moved into. And like the units are like dope. Like if they're anywhere else in the city, like easily, 2,000, 2,500, a month for rent. But yeah, no, that's super nice. I like it because everywhere, like, it's the how the building is structured. There's so many different floor plans that you can get.
Mhm.
So like every unit is, or not, I won't say every unit, but a lot of the units are unique and different. So depending on where you are, you'll get a different feel. But yeah, man, it's amazing. Shout out to Q and the team for bringing me on. I got on kind of late in the game, but yeah, man, shout out to them.
Yeah, for sure, dude. And man, you might have to send me the link, man. If I ever move back to Milwaukee, come on, dog. I'm right.
You make too much to for affordable housing, Q. I ain't gonna put your business out there, but you can't.
You funny, Lee. No, but okay. So after college, you get into the yes, with your brother. You get into the projects that you have going on right now currently, but you still love basketball. You coaching.
Still love it.
You still love it. So I remember. Did it start with Dominican first or AAU? I'm sorry. It started with AAU first and then Dominican, right? Or no?
No. So I started coaching. So I started coaching AAU. I was kind of a coaching journeyman as far as from the high school level. So I started coaching. I graduated college in 2009. I started coaching for Playground Elite with Ike and with Al. We had our own group too. So yeah, I started coaching January. I think it was January 2010. I started coaching AAU for Playground Elite. I coached with Playground Elite all the way through. I think it was the summer of 2018. It might have been 17. It was 17 or 18. It was Tyler Hero, like that, like his junior year.
Okay.
So I think it was summer 2017. But in that time, I was coaching high school as well. So shout out Coach Guys. He gave me my first high school opportunity, 2012. Then left King, went to Homestead. I actually had applied for the head job. They gave it to somebody. They gave it to somebody else. But like literally, like during my after my interview, the AD called me and he was like, mind you, like this is like immediately after my interview. Like I'm on my way back to the crib, like that soon after. Yeah, you had a great interview. Resume is impressive. We did our background, blah blah blah. You just don't have the experience. So you can have any position you want besides the head coach. So yeah, so that's how Homestead went. But then I did end up taking the assistant position at Homestead. it was good. It was kind of similar to like a Stevens Point opportunity. You know, I was able to see how the suburban teams kind of ran their programs, you know, through, you know, like city schools. We don't got no feeder programs or nothing like that. We had no junior, it wasn't no junior generals or nothing like that. So yeah, just to see how that was run, that was a good opportunity. And then I left there and went to Waukesha North.
Was Bo Rector there? Was he the head coach then or no?
He at Waukesha South.
Oh, he is South.
Yeah, Bo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bo. So I played against Bo. Bo was at Platteville.
Yeah.
So I played against Bo in college. But yeah, so I went to Waukesha North with a guy who I used to play against in college, and he knew, you know, I was coaching now, and he was a couple years older than us. So he was like, "Hey, like, what you making over there? You know, you want to come with me?" So he, like, you got to think about it. I'm at the time I'm staying in, like, where was I staying at the time? Oh, I was like right on the border of like Milwaukee and Tulsa, like on like Valete, like right on the border. So he he made me an offer, and I'm like y'all like word, like I take that I take that trip, but I quickly found out that like I didn't do it for the right reason, and like that was like in my life the worst season I've ever had, like as a basketball coach, player, anything, because I was chasing something that I shouldn't have been. Like it wasn't necessarily like the passion, or I wouldn't. It wasn't like a strategic move to like move up or nothing like that. It was just like, oh shit, like you gonna pay me this? Like, all right, cool, I'm going. But we ended up getting popped. Like I think, like I think we was like 4 or 5 games under 500. I was like, yeah, I'm out. So then, but at kind of coincidentally, the Dominican position was opening up. So Al was the assistant coach, but then Al got the assistant job at UWM at the time. So then once Al left, I replaced Al at Dominican, and then that was 2015. And I stayed there, won a state championship 2015. I was what was that? That was Diamond senior year, Diamond Stone senior year, and then stayed 2016, and then we won it back to back. With that was like Kostas, that group. Who was it? I'm trying to think who was the guard. Who was the guard for them? But anyway, I was like Kostas Antetokounmpo, like his year. Yeah, and then Raylan Brown, like that group. Jacoby, what's Jacoby's last name? Jones. So yeah, so that was that group, and then 2016, Al and them, they got let go. Like they had a really good year at UWM, and the AD was just like, all right, like, you know, we firing, we letting y'all go. So let the whole staff go. Al applied for the Nicolay position. He got it, and he was like, yo, let's roll. Let's
Come
do it.
on, let's go.
Let's do it. I said, man, say less. Come on, let's do it. So so we knew it wasn't gonna be like easy, like doing it, but like it was, man, I mean, because the years, like the 3 years leading up to us getting the position, or getting the position, they had won a total of like 3 or 5 conference games, like a total for the 3 years.
Yeah.
So like our first year there, we won 9. So we go 9-5. So in the second year, I think we go like 10-4. And then that third year, that's when you know, we had you know, the Johnsons, they transferred, you know, they moved down, you know, from Sun Prairie to Glendale. Jamari was coming into his own. You know, we had Sonny, who was like, to this, he was the heart and soul of our team.
Yes.
Like to this day, I still call him, you know, like he's that everyday guy. You know, you ain't have to worry about Sonny. Sonny had some bad hips, bad ankles, like never complain. He coming, you know, he coming to work.
He was a leader, play hard too, man.
Pure point guard, like the kind of guy you just, like, coach's dream. You ain't got to worry about him, like on the court, off the court. Like great great kid. But yeah, and then that 2019 year that was something special, man. That was something special, you know, for us to go through so much adversity, you know, with them, you know, people saying that, you know, we're doing, you know, legally recruiting and doing all these like just all these like bogus allegations and whatnot. And for us to, you know, at the, you know, March, whatever date that was, to be able to hoist that gold ball up and like ain't nothing they can say. Like you can't take that from us. Like we did it the right way. We played a hell of a team in Milwaukee, Washington. We you know we came out on top. You know, they gave us a good shot. We came out on top, man. It's just yeah, that 2019 season was special. Like it was really special, you know. Shout out like y'all, like you know, the crew,
Yeah.
the crew who would come in and play against our, you know, play against them guys. Um, I think not only like y'all, like y'all, or I would say we, because sometimes I was playing too, but like
Yeah.
you know, like y'all prepared them, you know, physically and mentally. You know, like whether that was you using that infamous Q bar forearm on Jalen, or you know, or somebody, you know, kind of, you know, talking crazy, you know, trying to get under their skin. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was just a special group, and you know, and then the following season, you know, I think you know, I think I'm pretty confident we would have repeated, but we got, you know, COVID hit. But
Mhm.
yeah, man, then you know the last two seasons, you know, we just been trying to get our footing back, you know, from that, you know, from COVID and you know, losing, you know, Kobe and Darius and James and guys like that. But yeah, no, like shout out Nicolay, man, from top to bottom. It's a first class school, man. Like from the superintendent to the principal to the assistant principal, trainers, like teachers, like it's solid, bro. Solid, real
Yeah.
solid.
And I love it, Leaf. And it actually gave me the chills when you said you won back to back with Dominican. And you know, you possibly could have won back to back with Nicolay. And just thinking about like, damn, Leaf won back to back in high school, back to back at Dominican. And if you would have won back to back at, come on, man, your resume is already like plush. You
I
know what I'm saying?
appreciate that. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
for sure, man. And you coaching with your brother, you know, that's
My
your brother.
brother, my brother.
Yeah, and y'all, man, y'all too wonderful, man. You know what I'm saying? I call you guys now to this day, you know,
Yep,
if it's from cracking jokes to, you know, just getting advice, you know what I'm
yep,
saying? And I always appreciate y'all for even you know, picking up the phone and doing these interviews and, just giving me game when I, have a question to ask, bro. So, I really do appreciate that, dog. And as far as y'all team this year, I went to a couple summer league games with y'all, and man, dude, them guys play hard and they're gonna be good again. So watch
yeah.
out for Nicolay, because you guys are doing a great job, man. And I'm really
Man,
proud of y'all,
appreciate
man.
that.
Yeah, for sure, for
Appreciate
sure.
that.
But Khalif, I'm putting you on the spot before I let you go, cuz.
Oh man.
Oh man. Now this gonna be tricky. All right, this gonna have maybe some people in their feelings, but who cares? Who the top 5 shooters that you played with all time?
Damn. Uh
You better be careful, because remember I didn't put Chris Fehrenbach name in. He
oh
commented and he
we
texted me.
we doing we doing Tulsa League too. We doing rec leagues too. Ah,
Top 5. Hey, listen.
top
Chris
five
Fehrenbach got on my
shooters.
tail. So
Top five shooters that I play with.
yeah, that you played with.
Okay, top five shooters that I play with. I'm gonna go Matt Goodwin.
Mm.
Goody, I mean, just off of longevity alone, like I mean, I saw Goody when, you know. Anyway, we don't got to go into the backstory, but yeah, so Goody's up there. Uh, Pete Rutvet, he was my shooter in college. Like, uh, Yeah, ask Whitewater, ask Whitewater about him. He hit 9 threes against Whitewater. But yeah, Pete Rorvet, uh, man, I gotta go Chris Fehrenbach. I gotta go Chris Fehrenbach. I played with him in some leagues. Like Chris Fehrenbach can fill it up, man. And since I'm going Chris Fehrenbach, I gotta go Ryan Krager.
Woo! Come on, man. You
I
scared
gotta
me for a little
I
bit.
gotta
Go
go
ahead.
Ryan Krager. I gotta go Ryan Krager. And man, that fifth spot, I gotta think back on that one. King.
Them some good shooters
Steve
you just picked too, though. Wow, wonderful.
Yeah. Man, that fifth spot gonna be tough.
If you can't do 5, I take 4 because them wonderful shooters, dog.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm gonna leave it at that because with them 4, you
oh, man. Y'all made me look like Draymond Green. Just my job was easy, man. I just had to show high on the ball screen, man.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I guess I can add Pre in there.
Pre-shooter. A lot of people
I can add Pre. I can put Pre in there. Pre can shoot, but like I think like the quality and like the big shots, you know what I mean? Like he was knocking them down too. So yeah, I would put So I had Pre, Krager, Fehrenbach, Pete Rortvet, and Goody.
Woo, dog, that's a nice 5, Leaf. I'm telling you, dog. And like I said, thank you, bro, for real, because I know how busy you are and you're a family man. And I appreciate you taking the time out, coming to the Barcode Podcast 414. You my brother for life. And I can't wait to come home and kick it with you, or you come out to AZ and kick it. But man, I love you, bro, and keep doing what you like. You and your brother and the rest of your crew, y'all keep doing this for the kids and our community, bro. And I will have all this in the description, and I'm gonna help y'all promote, whatever y'all need help with. All right,
man. That's love. Love. Appreciate you too, man. Hey, giving you your flowers right now, dog. Like, hey, this platform that you putting, like, it's amazing. It's much needed. And like, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, dog. Love. You know you my brother.
Man, for sure, love. But before we get off, man, you got to show that shirt, man. Show
that
shirt
come on.
Yes, y'all. Y'all see it, man. My boy Lee, we out, baby.
Just touched down, back on road. Counting money, man, you know how it goes. Hit the VIP and tell my bitch to strike a pose. Hop in mode.